Alright, so here's the latest Race Saver report on our spring situation. So, Comp 941 springs, when you open the box, if you pull a spring out of the box and there's no red stripe on it, that spring is not legal and will not be legal in the Race Saver series. It doesn't meet any of the rules. So here is that new comp spring here, all the info on it. That's the new one that they're sending in the box at this moment. Everything in yellow, highlighted in yellow, is, does not meet the rules. The OD of the spring's not correct. The open pressure is not correct. And then the other problem we have on this particular spring is when you get it it'll coil bind actually before it'll make 500 lift. So we got that one will not be legal. It's been said that there's a pack spring that's legal for Race Saver, and it's kind of even advertised that way, but everything in yellow is wrong. The OD of the wires of the spring itself is wrong, the wire diameter is wrong, the amount of coils is wrong, and again the open pressure is way high compared to the rules. So when you see this pack spring, all the tech guys out there, it's got a red stripe, but you can tell the red stripe is not the same as the original comp spring red stripe, plus it's also wound the other direction. So that pack spring won't work either. We've also had a bunch of other springs here that we've gone through. These are the ones that I commonly have people tell me that are correct or possibly correct or whatever, so I just kind of wanted to go through them. Okay, so the original comp 941 spring, all the specs are met. So they meet all the specs. This spring, as far as I know of, other than Brodex has some left and some of the vendors have some left, I don't know. Comp hasn't really returned my calls or called me or gave the courtesy to even give a crap, I guess. So I'm not sure, what their plan is, if they're going to switch back to this spring, if they're just going to continue to, put the other springs in the boxes. I don't know what the plan is for sure. So anyway, if you've got this comp spring on your motor, or you find some that are available now, because there is still some out there, that spring is legal because it still meets all the specs. This is the new part of the game here with Race Saver. So Howard's has made a spring. It's been out there, but it hasn't quite been right. It's the part number 98213. It's got a little bit of an issue with the overall height. All the other specs are correct. They're going to make a spring. It'll be available here in a couple, 2-3 weeks. And that spring will be a part number 98213 RS for Race Saver. The spring will be roughly half price of the Comp 941 spring. It's going to still meet all the specs. They're going to make the changes necessary. The spring I have here has the changes made to it, and it meets all the specs perfectly. So it will be legal to be used, and make sure that you get the correct one. Don't just go out right now and buy the 98213, because that spring will not work. It's got to be the 98213 RS. And it will have the modification made to it to make it legal to be run as a Race Saver spring. Eventually, there's a possibility that this original spring, the Comp 941, may run out of production, and if it does, at that point, Brodex will switch over then to this Howard spring. That's what I got for now. In a few weeks, you'll be able to get this Howard spring. I don't think there's going to be any advantage or disadvantage. It's the same spring. All the specs are exactly the same. So I don't think there will be any advantage one way or another. Other than it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper for you guys to replace springs if you're one of those type of guys. Anyway, thank you for running Race Saver. I appreciate you guys. That's what we got for right now. You guys have a great race season. I hope everybody wins.